Ready to do this?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
All right. So, what's your name? Your full name, your real name, by the way?
It's Christopher, and last name is Holder.
Christopher Holder. All right, Chris. Take us back to the beginning, Chris. What got you started in the barbecue world?
Well, I'd say the first was probably family growing up. I mean, it's Texas. You grow up barbecuing. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Weekends, you're cooking brisket or you're cooking something.
Okay.
So as far back as I can remember, it's always been barbecue on the weekends.
Okay. And what cookers do you remember your dad or your grandpa cooking on?
My dad, my grandpa, and all them, they worked oil refineries. So in the oil refinery, you got access to bigger pipes. So they were able to make a homemade offset smoker out of a 48-inch piece of pipe with a 24-inch stack going up to the side for doing sausage.
Nice.
With a 24-inch round firebox.
Nice. Okay. So they were dealing with some big stuff right out the bat, huh?
Yeah.
Nice. And what do you remember them making that was special to you? Like, what was the specialty?
Man, I hate to say it, but I think the best thing of all was probably Grandma's smoked cabbage.
Smoked cabbage. Okay. Wow. Nice.
That's probably the one thing that nobody can get right since Grandma passed away. I do know it, and I still can't get it right. There was something she did to it.
Okay.
You know, let's talk about it.
All right. So, you growing up, and obviously you take the reins over. At what age, were you when you decided that you were gonna kind of pursue this a little more than just a backyard barbecue guy?
Man, I'll be honest with you. I did not decide that until about a year ago. So we are coming up to the 1-year mark of Krazykountrybbq. That's pretty much when I decided that I wasn't happy with my job. I was happy with catering. I was happy cooking. I was happy smoking. I was happy seeing people eat it, and I was happy being with my family to having the job I've got now. But the barbecue, doing it and going to the conventions and competitions and, local cookouts was a lot better than getting up at 4:30 in the morning, working outside for 12 hours, wearing fire retardant clothing, and coming home at night and feeling like you just got kicked in the teeth.
Mm. So what were some of your early cookers that you were cooking on?
The first cooker I bought, it was when I got into my apartment, and I know it sounds kind of cheesy, but I've kind of got the same story as Aaron Franklin. It wasn't from Academy, but mine was from HEB. It was a little cheap offset. I mean, it was cheap as hell, and we burnt all kinds of crap on there, from hamburgers to hot dogs. We didn't really have the real true brisket style down. All of us that were living in that apartment complex believed the only way to cook brisket was put a bunch of seasoning on it, wrap it up in foil, smother it with butter, and put it on there for 12 hours.
Okay.
So we were pretty much making pulled barbecue sandwiches.
Okay. So, wow. So I got a quick story with the cheap offset. So when I first started cooking, I bought one from Home Depot or whatever, and I thought I was really spending a lot of money, like $150 or so. And I was smoking like offset style, but with coal, with wood chunks, kind of what I knew at the time, not how you're really supposed to do it. And so I would try to do tri-tip and stuff like that. And what's up, Eva Llama? So my buddy says, hey, I need you to come to the park and bring your cooker and grill a bunch of burgers for my daughter's birthday. So I'm like, cool. Yeah, I got this. No problem. So I show up. I load up the cooker with coal straight across the whole thing. I light this thing on fire. And all the fat buildup from all the cooks I'd done previous caught on fire. Man, it was like this black, thick smoke. And the whole time I'm trying to keep my cool, right? I'm just like, oh, yeah, this is normal, stuff like that. And I went through a whole bag of charcoal. By the time that thing cooled down, I had to send somebody back to the store to go get another bag of charcoal so I can actually cook the food that we were cooking on. So there's my oops story with the cheap offset. So where you at now? What are you cooking with now? You have a restaurant, or is it catering, or?
It's a little bit. It's not a restaurant. We're a back alley barbecue joint.
Okay.
We do catering, and then I do special orders. So
Okay.
we're looking at trying to get a parking spot, or not a parking spot, like an empty lot, to where we can incorporate and set up a more permanent stand.
Okay. So what kind of cookers are you running now?
Let's see. I've got a Pecos by Old Country.
Okay.
I'm running a couple homemade offsets, an Oklahoma Joe DLX 900 rider. I was running a Lockhart.
Is that a pellet cooker?
Yep.
Okay.
I was running the Pit Boss Lockhart until that thing took a big old crap in the yard.
The big one? The one that you came out with?
Yeah, it's a piece of crap.
Wow.
And if anybody cares to see, I've got videos of it on my YouTube page. You guys can go check it out. I did 13 cooks total. The igniter rod was completely melted.
Wow.
It's not built for what we're wanting as consumers for it to be built.
Okay. All right.
It's more of, hey, you're going to do a few vegetables up here, and you're really not into smoking, but you want to say you're a big smoker, so you got this big $800 pellet grill in the backyard.
Right. Okay, so that's cool. What are some of the offerings you're offering at your little spot?
Man, we do anything. I do surf and turf on the weekends. We do menudo, pozole. We do ribs.
Really?
We do.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, and that's why I like having that pellet grill, because that pellet grill's got where I can do griddle. So in the morning I can do brisket, leftover brisket slices. I'll reheat them back up on it. Do brisket breakfast tacos. I can start making menudo on the weekend because it's got a big, deep dish style pot that goes in there.
Wow.
It's a big 18-inch.
Okay.
And I can make it smoked, chickens, pork chops. It's always something different.
Okay, so you're pretty much offering different things, just depending on what you want to make that weekend, pretty much?
Throughout the whole week, most of the time around here, you got workers that don't want anything heavy. So we got chopped barbecue sandwiches. Come by, get you a bag of chips, chopped barbecue sandwich, and a bottle of water for $6. You can't beat that.
Right. That's nice. And then are you open 5 days a week, 7 days?
We do usually about 6 days a week. Sundays is our day that we're trying to rest. But if we do like a special holiday, say like Father's Day's coming up, somebody needs, say a ham smoked, or they want something special for their dad, they can swing by and pick it up, but I'll have it done either early that morning or late Saturday night.
Okay. And then say your long-lost uncle that you didn't know comes along and drops a blank check, says, hey, go buy 3 cookers right now. What would you go purchase?
Man, I see, that's the thing. If I had to go out and buy one, I'm still on the rail, because every one of them's got a different thing that is so good. So I'm kind of one of them special person, kind of like Rockin' Barbecue and everybody else. I've got it up here of what I want, but nobody has it. Everybody's got a piece of it, but nobody has it yet.
Okay.
So I would probably end up making a dual. If there was the opportunity for it, I'd have somebody make me a large 500-gallon offset with a vertical stack on one side, and then have somebody design me a big-ass hopper on the other 500-gallon to make like a 500-gallon pellet grill.
Okay. 500-gallon pellet grill.
Oh, yeah.
That's a pretty big pellet grill.
Yeah. You gotta think big or go home. So we're going.
I've had some of the bigger pellet grills out there, and they haven't been anywhere near 500 gallons.
Well, right now I am finishing up, and I bought all the stuff from different from like Yoder, a bunch of the other places like that. We are putting together a 150-gallon pellet grill.
Okay. 150.
So right now it is. We got it to where we got it all put together. It works fine. We're getting the grates built for it, and then we're going to test it out and see how the smoke and, the pellets and all that Because I mean, we're using an actual propane tank.
Okay. Wow.
So it's going to be, if you had to call it anything, I'd probably say it's like a RecTech Traeger Yoder on steroids.
Okay.
But it's going to be the first tow behind 150-gallon pellet competition smoker.
Okay. Nice. Can't wait to see that. I know because
we're looking at the reverse flow too.
Yoder has a pretty big pellet cooker, right? The Cimarron or something like that.
Yeah,
that's probably like the size of a 250, right?
That one, if you got up to it and you looked at it, it's about an 80-gallon air compressor tank, which is actually pretty big.
80-gallon, huh?
Yeah.
I have an 80-gallon offset, and
I mean, the only reason I can compare it to that is because I got to see one on a showroom floor.
Okay. Huh. So not anything else you would go out and purchase right now that suit your needs?
No, I mean, not really. You know, can't think of anything right offhand that would actually, help us besides, not really, it's just us finding the right spot. I mean,
yeah,
we're not really trying to change anything. It's like, you were talking rubs. I'm not trying to overcomplicate anything.
Right.
I just want it to be as simple as possible.
Okay. So what do you like to cook for yourself?
Man, my favorite thing to cook, I will have to say, would probably be the Wagyu ribeyes.
Wagyu ribeyes for yourself. And care to share your cooking technique with that?
Man, I put salt and pepper. It is a Colleen salt and pepper mix, and as soon as they're on, I throw them on the pellet grill and let them smoke for about 2 hours until they're about 130. Quick sear, and pull them right off. That's it.
Okay, so you actually put them in a pellet smoker.
Yeah, and I mean, if I'm not using the pellet smoker, I'll throw them on the big smoker if I feel like building a fire and everything. But, we've got them insert fire boxes where you can have the charcoal and the wood chunks. So, I mean, it takes about the same time for either one.
2 hours, so you must be running it pretty low.
Yeah, I'm running it as low as it'll possibly go.
Okay. Nice.
And then putting it up as high as I can and off to the coldest side.
Okay. So you're almost trying to achieve almost like a cold smoke.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you're searing it off at the end.
Yep, just doing a reverse sear. I just, especially with that Oklahoma Joe, it's got that little flip over. Throw it on there, sear it up, pull it off, cut it up.
Okay.
Nothing fancy.
All right. And so we're
Smokey.
Oh yeah, look at what's up, Smokey. Smokey. Sorry, I had to say it like that. So where would you like to take this venture? I mean, you want a brick and mortar? Do you want a trailer concession? I mean,
what I'll be honest with you. This is what I want. I want, if I had anything, I want people to come in and learn. I'm not telling anybody that I want a brick and mortar or anything. I would love to, and there's a possibility that it may happen. But if I open a lot and I've got spots for 5 other people that are starting out, come in. If somebody, like my neighbor, I barbecue with my neighbor a lot. He doesn't know very much about smoking. He comes over and asks me if he takes what I teach him and spreads that around. He's spreading barbecue love. That's all that really matters to me, is seeing the happiness of people. I don't want to try to be a llama, get rich quick. I don't want internet fame. I don't want to be on Pitmasters or anything like that. If I get the opportunity, it'd be cool. But I'm not going to let it swell my head. I'm watching too many guys that are coming off these shows that are blowing up because, now we've got Instagram, Facebook, and everything,
Yeah, I've ran into this group recently through Rockin'. He added me to this chat, and then that's where I've met a lot of you guys that I haven't really seen much of, on IG, but just my experience with everybody in that chat, my experience interviewing a lot of the people there, is you guys just love to spread barbecue, and you don't really care if somebody's using this or if somebody's using that. If what they're using works for them, then you guys are cool with that, and it's kind of it's a different it's really different than what I'm used to, because I used to do mainly Facebook stuff, and the groups are so divided in Facebook, like even to like brands, like, you know, the RecTech guys, they're all about RecTechs, and you know, the stick burner guys, they're all about stick burners. You can't cook on nothing else, and you know, and it just seems like in the Facebook community, a lot of these groups are just so divided. And then in Instagram world, um, it just seems like you guys are just so welcoming, and hey, whatever you want to cook on, that's cool. Let's talk about it. Let's explore flavors. Let's, you know, so it's really cool to be coming from the outside in, meeting you guys, and realizing that, and a lot of you guys are just about barbecue. So
Yeah, and that's you know, and from the group that I'm in, and I see a lot of the guys that are popping up in the video, from Smokey to Idiots and Hot Sauce. We communicate back and forth between the chat. We'll private message us. I mean, I've had people ask, you know, how do you do pork butts? How would you work on this grill? I've hit up Smokey, Mama Bear Foodiest, has showed us how to do a bunch of good stuff. Pitmaster Pastor, and everybody. Hang on, somebody just said my smaller propane grill cooking is my hot sauce. Yeah, hot sauces are good, but and it's just a share, because y'all's technique compared to my technique compared to everybody's, and when you start to kind of, you know, your area. So if you're cooking for, like me, if I'm cooking for every day for these people out here, I can kind of tweak it a little bit, and, you know, not really change everything, but you know, I may do a California style brisket one day, or you know, switch up and try somebody else's stuff and see how it kind of turns. But it's, you know, Smokey may do something that I like and I've never done before, or Idiots and Hot Sauce may see, hey, everybody's doing pork butt, I've got a grill, how can I make it work? And we give him the knowledge, and he gives it a whirl, and then he's hooked. And then before you know it, you know, from what I've, you know, Smokey's shown me, I've shown one other person, that goes off to 10 other people, and before you know it, it's like a wildfire.
yeah,
And like you said, Facebook folks, that's what it is. If you're a stick burner guy, they are, okay, we're only going to cook on this, you're going to cook on this. Now, I'm not going to say our group does not have brand wars. We do.
yeah,
I'm not going to get into it on brand wars, but I will say this much: you guys feel comfortable with what you feel like doing. If you want to run a smoke tube as well, you know, with your food, and I don't care if you got an $18,000 Yoder. If you want to throw a smoke tube on there, throw it on there. If you like not running a smoke tube and you got a Traeger, run it.
right,
I mean, every pellet grill is different. RecTech is different from Traeger. Traeger is different from Yoder. My DLX Rider is different from all of them.
right.
I mean, and I lent mine last weekend to Coach, and Coach was very surprised that a $600 pellet grill from Lowe's cooked as good as he wasn't expecting it.
Right, right, definitely. Yeah, I've been known to get wrapped up in brand wars, especially my early days. But I've taken a big step back, probably the last year, and just kind of reevaluated what really matters, and you know, kind of changed my outlook on brands and things like that. I mean, now I got a couple different pellet smokers by different manufacturers. I got a couple of cabinet smokers coming in the next couple of weeks by different manufacturers, and I'm not really a brand guy anymore. I'm just more of, I'm going to buy something, and if I could cook on it and I like the way it cooks, I'm going to keep it. And if I don't like the way it cooks, well, I'm going to pass it on, and somebody else will like the way it cooks. So I've learned that through many years of, not many, probably 5 or 6 years of just purchasing and selling. I've probably been through more grills than I like to admit, you know, but it's just part of what it is, I guess. So,
Tell everybody, you know, and if you guys follow White Bull's Barbecue, you know, he did switch up. He is with Traeger now. That's a totally different ballgame. But I can vouch for the stuff I've cooked on. I can tell you my personal experience. I've cooked on Pit Boss. I have no problem with it. Did I like the Lockhart? I did in the beginning, but it's not for what I was wanting to use. My favorite, if I had to pick, I haven't cooked on RecTech. I've cooked on GMG. I have seen and toyed with the Yoders, and then the Oklahoma Joe. I mean, Pit Boss. I like the Austin XL. There's nothing wrong with that. It looks like an old offset. The DLX from Oklahoma Joe's is nice. The big Yoder, I think it's a 640S. That one's really nice. Or the big one that Coach has got, the 1500. And then, mine. And there's always other ones out there.
Yeah. I always say if I still have a smoker after 2 years, it says a lot about the smoker. Just because if I don't like it, if I don't like the way it cooks, I lose interest and it'll be on Craigslist really quick. So, and that's neither here or there. I'm sure somebody else could grade on it. It's just not for me,
Yeah.
I had a backwoods, and I think I gave it like 2 weeks before I was like, I got to pass it on. They're known to be great competition cookers. People cook great food on them all the time. I just couldn't get the hang of it. And so, I bought it, sold it. I mean, but anyhow, so why don't you tell everybody where we can find you on YouTube, IG, or Facebook?
Man, it's pretty simple. Just go and look up anything on Facebook, YouTube, IG. It's all the same. I have no difference. It's Krazykountrybbq.
Okay.
Just like it is right there. So if you find me on Instagram, it's linked to my Facebook. My Facebook's linked to my YouTube.
Okay. So Crazy Country BBQ, Crazy Country spelled with a K. Thank you for joining me. And like always, smoke on, bro.
All right.
Okay. Bye. All right. Thanks for watching. That will be episode 12 of The Cud. Like and subscribe. And if you are asking, well, what happened to episode 11? Well, user error. I'm working on that one. Thanks. God bless you. Peace.